Good morning. Welcome to the Treehouse, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Curl Up with Cathy Bramley. I've got a wonderful guest for you today. Somebody I actually sat, and the last time I saw her, I was sitting next to her at an awards dinner, and she was cackling with laughter, so much so that I had to move to carry on with my video of Millie Johnson at the RNA Awards. Anyway, I'm delighted to welcome to Curl Up with Cathy Bramley, Laura Kemp. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. Hello. Lovely to see you.
Yes, and you. By the wonders of modern technology,
God,
here we
amazing.
are. Nottinghamshire and Wales, side by side.
And I can hear the birds singing and everything. It's lovely.
I'm up in, we call it a tree house. It's just really a house on stilts, but it is right up in the trees. And
that's a tree house.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It looks gorgeous as well.
It is. My husband built it. He's a bit of a talent.
Is he?
Well, actually, he didn't build it. He designed it and got a joiner to build it.
So. Wow. So is that where you write?
Well, in the summer holidays. Hello, doggy.
This is my secretary.
Hello.
And he just pops up whenever. So sorry, I have to just put up with him.
That's all right. So the idea is in the summer holidays when the girls were at school and they were home for a long time and had to write, I could come up here and it would be completely silent and I could work.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, to be honest, you know what teenagers are like? I can do about 3 hours work before they even wake up now. So
I know. My son is 12 and he's just entering that period, and obviously with the schools being off, he's just like sat in bed watching. Oh, actually no, we're homeschooling. We're doing loads of homeschool. Honestly,
yeah. Too late. Oh,
I know. Honestly, do you know what? I just think there are other things going on, and I think at the moment, just trying to just keep our spirits up is the most important thing. And I tell you what, a patchwork family. I mean, that's got to be the ultimate in, escape and lovely, lovely, cutchy. Woo, there we are. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, thank you. I hope so. I think as well, just going back to your son and homeschooling, we want all our kids are going to remember this summer, aren't they? We don't want them to be remembering periods of stress and parents shouting at them for, doing their work. They will cope. They will cope with this, and everyone will cope a lot better if we don't put have too high expectations for them all, I think.
Well, this is it. And I was reading something the other day, and it was about this guy that's grown up in he's been like a refugee, and he's been through war and all this, and he was just saying that there's these different stages of adjustment. And so the first week, the second week, it's not about homeschooling. It's about dealing with where you are and trying to manage the emotions and stuff that you're feeling. Because I've been up and down like a yo-yo. But it's so weird. Whatever I'm feeling it really intensely. So if something's funny, I'm just like crying. It's really funny. And if it's really bad, it's like, oh, I'm just crying. You know. And it's just, I think, the whole thing about adjustment is that we will adjust. Human beings are really good at that, and they're really resilient. It's just at the moment, I think we need to give ourselves some grace, because at the moment we're just, my main worries are keeping everyone safe, making sure that there's some food in the house that I can cook, and, saving a little bit. I had an argument with my husband the other day because of the way he was like, just literally cutting up far too much broccoli. And I was like, no, you've got to save it. You've got to save it. And he was just like, we're not living in the war. And I'm like, well, do you know what? We just need to be careful and mindful of what we've got. And it's the little things that stress you out as well.
I think we have to, I was speaking to Harriet, my editor, first thing this morning, and I said it is a really difficult time, but we just have to find the moments of joy, don't we? Moments of joy in things. And one of the things that may come out of this whole situation is that we're a lot more appreciative and less wasteful with things.
Totally.
And look at what we've got and what you can do with stuff. And rather than just going out to the shops to buy stuff, look at what you've got in and what you can do with it.
Exactly. You might end up having like a leek with some baked beans, but that's fine. Yummy. But just you can't be having that. A lovely tea every single night. I was brought up on like leftovers. My mum and dad have been preparing for this moment their whole lives. You know, the bottle of ketchup was always like turned up in the cup, and they always reuse the tea bag. And I've laughed at them and laughed at them.
Yeah.
But actually now I am reusing my tea bags. You know, because you just got to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not going steady on the coffee though. Oh my word!
No, I haven't. I've made 2 pots today, but someone in the house has a birthday today, so I'm
Oh, who?
throwing caution to the winds. Friend of
Oh,
mine. So
oh, lovely.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about your book. Am I right in thinking that you're going to reveal your cover right here, right now?
It's an exclusive.
Is it
Got an
really?
exclusive, and I'll leave you to do the honours.
Oh my goodness. Well, I asked if Laura wanted to send me the cover of her new book so we could talk about her new book. And she had to get permission to show it because it's not actually shown anywhere. I'm really, really thrilled. So I'm going to bring the new book into the stream. Say hello to Under a Starry Sky. Look at that.
Oh, do you know what? I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with it. I think the colours are gorgeous. I think they leap out at you. And the thing about this book is called Under a Starry Sky, and it's set in the middle of Wales, right? It's an area.
Wales, really?
Yeah, oh, of course. It's always everything I say is because I love Wales. Oh my God, I'm English, but I've lived here like 20 years, and I'm married to a Welshman. My son.
And you eat leeks with baked beans?
I know. I love leeks. Oh my God. And Welsh cakes. Oh, they're good with a cup of coffee. And it's in an area set in an area called they call it the Desert of Wales because it's literally there's more sheep than anywhere else.
That's a real place.
It's a real place. It's like the Cambrian Mountains, so it's like miles from anywhere. So the book starts when my heroine Wanda is 18 and life is about to begin for her. She's about to go traveling. She's sick of growing up in this village where everybody knows everyone. She just wants to get away and find her freedom and find out who she is. But the night before she's due to go, there is a fire, and there's actually this is a bit of a thing in Wales during sort of like the spring months. Mountain fires and grass fires are really, really bad here. It's like just people
really
go, yeah, I think there's a lot more grass fires deliberately started in Wales than there are anywhere else in the UK. It's a weird cultural thing, and it's people just being bored and starting a fire and all of that kind of it's quite mad.
God.
So there's a fire breaks out on the mountain, and at that moment she's about her best friend Lou, who she's secretly adored for her, since her teenage, since she was like 13, turns around and says, "Oh, let's make a go of things." Then the fire is blazing, and a local ne'er-do-well family, everyone suspects that a boy has started it, and this boy is the brother of another of her friends. So it's really about 3 friends: Annie, Wanda, and Lou. And that night, she loses her father in the fire. They run a family-run campsite, and it rips through the campsite. And it was a really successful campsite. And then basically everything changes for her. Her father dies, and then she never sees Annie or Lou again. And then we start the book. Chapter 1 is 15 years later, and she's about to go around the world. But she finally is getting there. She's saved up. She's, looked after her mum and her sister, and, all of that. And she's about to have her time. And then just when she's about to go, her mother falls over and breaks her hip. So she has to stay, and she suddenly goes through all the books at the campsite and realizes that it's on its knees, and they've got no source of income. She's left her job. So she has to come up with a plan to turn this, grotty little campsite into a lovely, lovely place. And she calls it Under a Starry Sky because she realizes you've got to make the most of what's there, not go looking out there for new things, but just appreciate what you've got, really. And then Annie and Lou make a return, and they've got their own stories. They left 15 years ago, and they come back And it's about how to survive when you think that life has given you some lemons. And I think there's probably a kind of a feeling here that we're all, oh my God, how do we make the best of this? And it kind of is.
Yeah.
It is actually, once you go through the initial shock of it all, that really we do have to make the best of, and life will come good again. And that's what she learns, and it's about love, and it's about forgiveness, and it's about just making amends with people and getting together. And it is, yeah, I loved writing it because I love it's very scenery location led, because it features a lake. There's a lake by the campsite, and it's based on a lake in the Brecon Beacons, and I've moved it for geographical reasons. And it's just, and I actually went there when I was researching the book, and had a wild swim, and it was absolutely bloody freezing. I got in, and I was in for like probably 10 seconds. I could not feel my feet. And honestly, and then I had to get like undressed out of my swimmers, so I could really, like, luckily it was very remote, but I think I probably flashed like the International Space Station as it went over or something awful like that. But it's just, yeah.
So this one's Under a Starry Sky, and it's out in July.
It's out in July, but it's available to pre-order now.
Oh, is it? Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's up on Amazon and other ebook providers.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is the next book, but I'd probably, like you're already well into your book after.
Yeah, written two more. Yeah,
it's really difficult, isn't it? Because your mind, it's almost like I have to go back to remember, because I wrote it like a year ago. So, and which is the same for all of us, and and you revisit it when you get your edits back, and you're like, oh yes, I remember this place. And that's the sign, if you can relate to it when it comes back to you and go, oh yeah, this place, I remember this place. So yeah, I had real joy. It's a really joyous, escapeful place, and it's where people are good, and it's community, and it's just lots of lovely different characters getting together and making the best of things.
Fab. How did you get into writing? Because you published, how many novels have you published now?
Oh God, I can't.
Roughly?
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this will be my 7th.
Right.
Under A Starry Sky will be my 7th. So I was a journalist. I started off as a local newspaper, knee deep in parish council meetings, and people phoning up and complaining that a plastic bag was caught in their tree, and phoning the police and being angry about it, and us having to make a story out of it. And I love, that's where it all began, really. And then I ended up moving to Wales and went to the Cardiff daily paper, and then I moved then to the Wales on Sunday, which was like the sort of tabloidy Sunday paper.
Yeah.
And it was such good times, such brilliant. A newsroom is like no other place on earth. It's full of dark humour, and it's full of but it's also full of people who are really dedicated. And I think journalists get a massively bad deal, because they're what people see of them is what you hear in the nationals and stuff, but 99% of journalists are there doing it because they love what they do, and they love the community. And I think also you've got to be quite nosy as well, and I think that's probably helped.
Yeah, definitely.
To go over to writing books. And I started writing books when I was I had, my son was a baby, and that I sort of had an idea for a book then, and I managed to get myself an agent, and it all started then. So I've been doing it. Oh, my son's just crept in. Oh, look, hang on, he's printing maths. Oh, is it maths? Science. He's printing science. So there we go. He's doing a book. He's doing about an hour a day, which to me is, and the thing is, I can't even help him, because it's all beyond me now.
He's just run past.
I know he has. Yeah, I know. So journalism really helped, because it's about stringing words together, obviously, but getting a feeling,
finding the
for
story within a story as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
and the angle and the right angle.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I did a bit of work for the Nationals, just freelancing, writing features and whatnot, and then it just sort of like kind of grew. And I was very, very lucky that I got the agent of my dreams, Lizzie Kramer, who's like one of the best agents going, and we got ourselves a deal, a 2-book deal, and that was more like, it was Mums Like Us and Mums on Strike, and they were sort of about motherhood, and then my writing sort of progressed and moved away from that, really. And they were romantic comedies, because that's what I do, and yeah, it's just been a progression, really. And the challenge, I think, and I don't know if you feel the same, but about developing, and because it's a lonely job, and we're really lucky to do what we do, and I love it, but it can be quite lonely. So this is why this is so amazing. It's so lovely to come and speak to you. Just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
So what's your day going to have in store?
So my day, I have written about 3/4 of my next book, which won't be out until next year, and that's currently with my agent Lizzie. She's just having a quick look at it, because you and me, we share publishers. We're both at Orion. So then once I've tinkered about with it, probably rewritten the whole thing, then I'll send it to my editor. But I won't be doing that today, obviously. I'll be so I'm waiting for that to come back. In the meantime, I have to say, it was quite difficult keeping writing the last couple of weeks, because I only just sent it to her on Friday.
Yeah.
But I think, I just had to sit down and do it. And I think, God, for goodness sakes, you have to, with writing a book, you have to sit down and write, whether you feel like it or not.
Yeah, that's
every
right.
day.
Yeah.
It's not, you do not wait for the inspiration
No.
to come and find you.
No.
It's like any other job, in that you just have to turn up and do it, whether you feel like doing it or not, like everybody else. And also, okay, we've got a massively important role in terms of escapism and bringing happy endings and highlighting all the brilliant things about humanity and love and friendship, and people really need that. But it's also, someone at the door. It's also really, this is so typical. Oh, hang on, Pat, can you answer the door? I might have to go and answer the door, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It's been absolutely lovely to talk to you. Good luck with the new book, Under A Starry Sky, out July. Look out for it, everybody.
Thank you. And it's been so lovely to talk to you. And so lovely to see you. And I hope that we will see each other soon.
Yeah. You take care.
In the flesh.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's Laura Kemp there speaking to us from Wales. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll be up with more authors soon to chat to, and with Curl Up with Cathy Bramley. Take care. Bye.